Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the MylesHighClub podcast. I am your host Myles. This is episode number 5. Hope you're all well watching this. Hope everyone had a fantastic Halloween. Myself, I didn't dress up in any festivities. I went round to a family member's house, only a few of us. Went round to a family member's house just to, see and spend some time with the family before the impending doom, which on the day that this video is released is probably the second wave of our national UK lockdown. But let's forget about that and let's talk about something that had my faith in humanity restored. Actually, no, before that, something that actually plunged my faith in humanity is it the second time this year, on the same roundabout, it was just a different exit this time, someone crashed into me, which is always fun. I'm completely fine. Somehow, the car is completely fine. I was literally driving over the roundabout, and as I'm going over the roundabout, so it wasn't my fault, I'm literally near enough about to come off. Some guy in the car just didn't stop and just hit the back of my car, didn't spin me or anything, literally pulled over, and I was like, oh God, here we go. Looked at the side of my car and there was not one scratch. Not one scratch, dent, mark. My alloy was ever so slightly chipped, but his whole front bumper had fallen off his car. So I was just like, you know what, Myles? I think it's safe to say your car won this battle. So got back in the car, exchanged details, got back in the car, kept it moving. Haven't heard anything since. But I was just like, how many times is someone going to crash into me on this roundabout? And the worst thing is, the roundabout is maybe a 40-second drive from my house. Literally come to my house, 2 lefts and a right, and then I'm at the roundabout. So fingers crossed there is no more accidents anywhere in the UK, but especially on that roundabout. But I'm sick and tired of it. As I was saying, what restored my faith in humanity is had a little, was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. Had a little shopping trip. I say little. Had a shopping trip to IKEA. Pause for everyone out there cheering about going to IKEA. Went IKEA. Did some shopping, paid for some stuff, left. As we are leaving, I don't know, not even as we are leaving, we've left IKEA, we've gone home. I've set up, was it the day I brought my desk? Yeah, it was the day I brought my new desk. I brought a desk from Argos. I just went to IKEA to get bits and bobs. And I had a missed call, had 2 missed calls, thought nothing of it. And then my phone rang again and it popped up, West Midlands Police. First of all, it popped up, why is the police ringing me? Second thought, how does the police have my mobile number? And then my third thought went straight back to the first thought, why are the police ringing me? So I ignored it. I didn't press ignore, I just let it ring out. Then they rang back again, and this is 4 missed calls from them now. So I'm thinking, fuck. I was thinking to myself, I should really answer it, because if the police are ringing you 4 times, it might be something serious. But then I stopped and I was like, I'm sure if something serious happens, the police go to your house. And I don't even know if it's the police. I'm sure they have like a special unit of people that go to your house to knock your door and deliver whatever news needs to be delivered. But they left a voicemail, thankfully. Left the voicemail, I was like, hi Myles, your wallet has been handed in to the police station in such and such. I'll be in the office from this time to this time, today, tomorrow, such and such, come and collect your wallet. So, first thing I did was stripped the whole house, my clothes, the car. Anywhere I'd been, I stripped it down trying to find my wallet. It just, again, I'm not involved in any sort of, I don't believe I'm involved in any sort of crimes. And if I am, I wasn't aware that I was. So in my head, for some strange reason, I thought it was a setup. I was like, why is the police? So why are they trying to get me to go to the police station? Again, I've literally done nothing that would make the police want me for any particular reason, apart from speeding. But I've already booked my speeding course in for, I think it's, oh, I should really find out when that is. But yeah, anyway, someone handed in my wallet to the police station. The confusing thing was, they found my wallet in IKEA in Wednesbury, but handed my wallet into the police station in Birmingham city centre. So I'm still trying to work out how that worked. I was like, why would you not just take my wallet to, like, I don't know where I dropped it. I'm assuming it was the IKEA car park. But I was like, why wouldn't you just take it into IKEA and say someone's dropped this in case they come back? But you know what? I'm not going to get into that. Whoever this person or persons was, thank you very much for handing in my wallet. And also, thank you very much for leaving me with all my money. I say all my money. There was a £5 note and some change, which was probably around the £5 mark. But anyone else, they could have took that fiver, took all my change, got themselves a little snack. They could have I had 2 cards in there. I had about 2 cards in there, contactless payment. They literally could have just gone around using contactless payment, and I don't think I would have noticed until it came time for me to look for my wallet, which again, if the police hadn't have called, I probably wouldn't have looked for my wallet until maybe the next day. But since we've been in lockdown and we don't go anywhere, I don't take my wallet anywhere. I only take my wallet if I plan on doing a lot of shopping. If I literally just fly out the house to go and grab something, I'll just take my phone, pay with my phone. Everything else stays in the house. I don't travel with my wallet like I used to anymore. But no, this restored, I wouldn't say it completely restored, but it slightly restored my faith in humanity. I was like, there are some decent human beings out there that just look out for other people. And hopefully I can be that decent human being as well. So if I ever find someone's wallet, the amount of times I've found like bags and purses and wallets when I used to be out on a night out, and I just pick it up and be like, oh, there's the drink money. And then I just put it back in the same place in case they come looking for it. So karma, thank you for skipping me on this one. I hope you're not saving it for something bigger and worse than what's already happened. So thank God for that. Another video that it does and it doesn't restore my faith in humanity. I saw this video going viral. I'm recording on the 4th. This is Wednesday the 4th. I normally record on Tuesdays, but I was very busy yesterday. So this morning, I saw a viral video going around. I think I first saw it on Instagram. And it's basically, you've probably all, well, hopefully you've all seen it by now, so you're aware what the fuck is going on out there. And this is in the UK as well. It's a video of some woman shouting at a man. And at first, I'll explain how you see the video. So, a woman shouting at a man. And then you can hear her saying, what are you doing with that girl? And then like he walks off somewhere. So then she follows him through some alleyway, through some car park, I think it is, by some flats. And he's got his arm, he's from behind, so I think he's got his arm over the girl's shoulder like this. And it looks like a schoolgirl. And I think she says, what are you doing with a schoolgirl? And then she's there asking the girl if she's okay. She's asking the girl to say something, and she doesn't say anything. And then like she gets closer with, I don't know what happens here, but she gets closer with the camera and it looks like the guy just takes off. Like he must turn around, see her, and then he takes off. And as soon as he takes off, the girl, I don't think you see her face, or I didn't. The girl turns around and must hug the person recording. And when I tell you she's streaming with tears, you can't make, well, I just about made things out. Like I know she was saying thank you. I don't think she was scared as well. I don't know the full story. I only know what I've seen on social media, but it appears that this pedo, pervert, disgusting excuse for a human being was trying to kidnap or lead astray, or I don't know what he was trying to do with this schoolgirl. But he got caught, and it turns out that I think what I saw is someone was walking to school, a young girl was walking to school, or was walking somewhere, and she saw a man walking with a girl, but had his hands over her mouth, and said the girl looked upset, distressed, blah, blah, and they'd never seen this man before. So she rang her mom and sister to tell her. Mom and sister then pulled up and then followed this guy. This happened, social media got on of it. There's pictures of his face, his full name was going around. And then just before I started recording, I saw another post. I think it's on the Shade Borough on Instagram, saying that he's being arrested. And man, as a father of a daughter, as a boyfriend, as a son, to my mom, obviously, to a nephew, to aunties, to cousins, to girls, to someone that's got a bunch of friends. Hold on a minute, my alarm has just started ringing. So much for putting everything on silent. Where was I? But yeah, as a male whose life is probably heavily influenced by females, it's things like this. I don't know what is it. It's disgusting. It's heartbreaking. It's shocking. You think to yourself, things like this don't happen. And when you see the video as well, remember, she's in school uniform, so she's walking to school. This is first thing in the morning, broad daylight, just walking through open streets. And it's one of those situations where, thank God that the other girl walking saw this. Thank God that she's one of these people that saw a strange looking man with his hand over a girl's mouth and thought, that doesn't look right. Thank God the mom and sister, 1, answered the phone, 2, listened to her story, and 3, actually decided, hold the fuck on, let's get out here and actually see what is actually going on to make sure what she's saying is completely true. Like all the circumstances together. I saw something else come out that said apparently he was trying to kidnap her, and I don't know if it's true or not, but he either asked for sexual favors or already somehow got sexual favors out of this young girl, which again is just fucking disgusting. But I'm trying my hardest not to focus on the disgusting part of the video as hard as it is, and focus more on the humanity side of it, the good Samaritans, there we go, the good Samaritans that actually stepped up and did something. Because it's one of those things where you see this and you tell yourself, I'm so glad they were there, or you think to yourself, why wouldn't everyone do this? I would do this. But I mentioned in previous episodes, I am king mind your business. And it just had me sat there thinking, I wonder how many times I've seen something that might have looked a little risky, a little suspicious, and I've just thought to myself, yeah, I'm minding my business. And you don't know how that turns out after. And it's a catch-22. I think it's a catch-22, if that's what a catch-22 means, where on one side of things, if we move away from that specific situation, there's on one side of things, you see something suspicious, you approach it, and it turns out to just be like a video, a prank, or two people messing around, or like a slight misunderstanding between two people, and now you've just stuck your nose in with cameras everywhere trying to paint your own little narrative. And then on the other side of it, you've got this situation where something is actually happening and you've done or said something that's actually prevented any further damage, physical or emotional, happening to this little girl. So everyone, when you're out and about, everyone's going to be, I don't know, because schools are still open and this was on the way to school. It looks like some tramp trying to capitalize on it. But yeah, when you are out and about, if you're doing a school run, if you're out in the mornings, looking at your windows, you're going for a run, whatever, let's all just keep an eye on one another. How about that? I'm not saying approach anyone, say anything to anyone. Let's all just keep an eye out and keep a close look on all of our friends, family, neighbors, strangers, and what's going on around us in this world. Because as that video shows you, this is a scary, scary, scary world out there, and you have no idea what is going on out in the open or behind closed doors. But yeah, so they're my little two things that have helped me slightly restore my faith in humanity. But back to my IKEA. Back to the IKEA story, try uplift us all a bit now. I don't know, people have come here to hopefully have a good time and a laugh, and I just started with that depressing story. But take the positives away from it, guys. Think about the good that is humanity at times. But yeah, back to IKEA. How do guys treat IKEA? Like, is IKEA, because to me, IKEA is not just like going Tesco. It's not like I'm going to Next, TK Maxx. It's not like I'm going to shop. I feel like IKEA is its own event. Like, if you had to register to go IKEA and you had to have a pass, that would make complete sense to me, because I never treat IKEA like a shop. Like, I don't know anyone that just, you don't just go to IKEA. I feel like you plan to go IKEA. You might make a day of it going to IKEA. And then it's IKEA, so we've got to make sure I've got enough space in the car or the van. What am I getting? Are you bringing your own tape measure? Because in lockdown, you should bring your own tape measure, and usually anyone that's been IKEA would know, when you walk around IKEA in different places, they've usually got the piece of paper so you can write down all the codes, a little tiny IKEA pencil, and sometimes a tape measure so you can just measure things up to make sense. But yeah, IKEA is an event. Like, IKEA is a day out. Even if you're only in IKEA for an hour, 2 hours, IKEA is a day out. It's a whole event. You get there, you've got to follow that one-way system. And I think the best thing about IKEA, it's the way everything's set up. Like, you see all the rooms all decorated, and then you'll go to a next section where you can see like the individual units. You can build your own unit. My TV unit, that little TV unit we've got in our house, we built that. We saw a TV unit, liked it, went to IKEA, then realized you can actually design your own. That adds like another hour onto your journey, because every time you get to a new section where you want to buy something, you're just like, right, let me see how I can customize this myself. And then what else is the IKEA? And then the food. And then you've got the shop. It goes from a shop to a warehouse. That's another one that always used to get me when I used to go IKEA as a kid. It's like, you walk through the shop and you can't buy anything in the shop. Mainly, the main bit of IKEA is walking around, jotting down numbers, looking at a kitchen, thinking I'd love my kitchen to look like that. I can't afford it though. Well, but maybe if I get like these door handles and put those in my kitchen, it might help. Or you see a living room, like the amount of ideas I see in IKEA. I'm one of these people that after walking around IKEA, I'd be like, I'd take that living room with that kitchen, pair it with that bedroom and that dining room. Oh, I shouldn't go IKEA because all I ever want to do is just spend money. And then I do things like I don't need a new kitchen. I moved into this house. It'll be 2 years in, well, got the keys 2 years in January, moved in 2 years in March coming. My kitchen was brand new when we got the house. I think the woman who brought it off said the kitchen and bathroom had been done within the year and a half. So our stuff is brand new. And I still see kitchens and will walk up to that IKEA sign like, so it's only £10,000 for the kitchen. I can pay it off in monthly installments, put down a deposit. And I'm just like, Myles, you do not need a new kitchen. Keep it moving. Like IKEA, if you think I don't think there's anywhere more dangerous you can shop than IKEA. Apart from like the M&M store, if you're into M&Ms. I'm not into M&Ms. I prefer a Skittle store or a Starburst store. But I digress. IKEA has me spending money. And I just want to know, so let me guys know in the comment, are you a fan of IKEA? Because if you're not a fan of the IKEA furniture, you've got to be a fan of the cinnamon rolls, the 90p, all my vegan and vegetarian friends are going to be listening to this now, but the 90p hot dogs. You're probably thinking, Myles, it's 90p for a hot dog. Listen, I'm not complaining. 90p for the hot dog, £1 for your little milkshakes. You get the little token, go get your milkshake. £1 for 4 freshly baked, warm cinnamon rolls, cinnamon rolls, whatever you want to call them. IKEA might do some of the best ones. And then, again, so you've been in IKEA. This is what I mean by it's a whole day out / event. You walk in IKEA, you have the option in the Wednesday one anyway to just turn straight back around and go into the restaurant, get yourself some Swedish meatballs, get yourself some food, fire. Or you can just walk around half of IKEA and then you end up coming back to the restaurant. Maybe you want a little break. If not, keep it moving. And then you go down into like not the warehouse bit, but there's like the showrooms where you can actually buy certain like the lights and lamps and plants. So this is the second part of IKEA, or third part if you've had food, but this is the next part of IKEA where you can start actually picking stuff up, throwing them in your big yellow bag or throwing them in your big trolley, keep it moving. And then you get to the warehouse section where it's literally just, I imagine this is what Argos and all the other shops look like in the background. And it's so smart from IKEA, personally. Because instead of having, like with Argos, you order something and then you wait at the till. I've never worked at Argos, so I'd love to know what it actually looks like beyond that conveyor belt that drops all your stuff down. But I imagine it looks like the IKEA warehouse. And there's just people walking around, getting a message saying, I need this, grabbing it, bringing it, and then pushing it down a chute. IKEA, you do that yourself. Genius. It's so genius. You just tell people, do it yourself. Literally, IKEA is do it yourself. There's a few people that are stationed around the shop that are there to answer questions, make stuff look nice. You've got people on the tills. Apart from that, it's a DIY shop. You just do the shopping yourself. You look for everything. You write down your own numbers. You go and find out where it is. You pick up all your little accessories that you need. And again, IKEA it feels like there's nothing solely built in IKEA. Like you see a cabinet in IKEA and you're like, yeah, I want that cabinet. And then you get there and you're like, oh, I've got to buy the cabinet, and then I've got to buy the doors, and then I've got to buy the handle. I need to stop talking about IKEA because I ain't getting paid by them. Although if there's anyone that works for IKEA and is in a position of power, and you want to add or sponsor, throw a little sponsorship this way, I'll do a whole shopping in IKEA video. I'll kit the podcast studio garage. I'm going to say garage. I think it sounds better than garage. Studio garage. And get it all pimped out with IKEA stuff. There we go. Tweet IKEA and tweet my podcast. Let's see if we can get an IKEA podcast decor sort of thing started on there as well. But yeah, enough ranting and raving about IKEA. Another video that I saw that I've got on my topic list is a video I saw on World Star Hip Hop. And I want to know if people agree or disagree with what's happening in the video. So in the video, you see some guy sat on the stairs. I don't know what, he's smoking something. Sat on the stairs in America, and he appears to either be homeless or down on his luck. Like he's not just sitting on some stairs chilling. He looked like I'm sure there's stuff behind him. He looks like he's either down on his luck or he's homeless. And someone's recording him. So someone must walk past, see him, pull out their phone, and then walk up to him, recording. Then they start laughing at him and talking shit to him. And at first you're thinking, yo, there is no need for this, just a random homeless guy. But then it turns out that this homeless guy, or whoever he is, used to bully the guy that's recording him back when they were in high school. So my question is, I've never been bullied. I've never been bullied. I'd like to think I've never bullied anyone. And the reason I say I'd like to think is, I mean, in school, who doesn't make fun of people? Like, here we go. This is where it sounds like, everyone's gonna be like, right, Myles, this sounds like you were a bully. I want to say I promise, but I do not believe I was a bully. Like, I don't remember picking on any one person in particular all the time. I don't ever remember like getting onto someone for a whole lesson. It was like, make a joke, let the joke fly, keep it moving, anything like that. So I don't ever think to myself as I was being a bully. No one's ever like reached out since school and was like, oh, Myles, you used to bully me at school or anything like that. So I don't believe I was a bully, and I don't believe I was ever bullied at school. So personally, to me, I don't have a personal opinion on it. But it got me thinking, it was like, if you were bullied at school and then you bumped into your school bully who is, let's just say, down on their luck. You bump into your school bully, it looks like they're down on the luck. It looks like they're not doing as good as, one, they used to be, two, not doing as good as you, or three, not doing as good as the average person. Would you, I have so many questions, like one, would you acknowledge them? So if you saw your bully, if you were bullied, hope this is not triggering you, but if you saw your bully looking homeless, looking down on their luck in the streets, nowhere to go, one, would you acknowledge them? So like, would you walk up to them and say, yo, I swear, are you such and such? We used to go to school together. Do you remember? Or you used to bully? Anything? Would you acknowledge them? Two, if you would acknowledge them, would you bring up the bullying? So like, would you see someone down on there and look and be like, yo, you used to bully me, or you was a bully, you used to do these things to me in school. And then I think the third one is, would you act like this person? I'm gonna follow me on Instagram. When this video drops, I'm gonna try and find the video again, then upload it on Instagram. Would you confront that bully? So would you, again, I don't know, is he stunting on his old bully? Is he now bullying the bullies? Is he taking the piss? Is this karma? Is this him dealing his own karma? Like, what would you do if you were bullied? And I think it does depend on, like, how were you, was it just verbal abuse? Were you physically bullied? Did they make your school life a living hell? Did a bully force you to move school? Anything like that. So it doesn't matter what degree of bullying. If you were bullied to any degree at all, you're walking down the street, let's say you're by yourself, you're walking down the street, you're by yourself, and then across the road or on the same side of the road as you see your bully with a sleeping bag and a few carrier bags. So it looks like they're down on their luck. They might be permanently homeless, temporarily homeless, newly homeless, been homeless for a minute now. Would you acknowledge them? Would you confront them about the bullying? And would you then rub it in their face? I feel like if I'd asked myself this question 5 years ago, I'd have said yes. I think 5 years ago, Myles, who didn't give a shit about anything, I imagine I'd have laughed in that bully's face. I'd have danced in front of him. Or I'd have been like, oh man, I'm only joking. Do you want to come at mine? I've got a warm bed and some warm food. And then when he says yes, I'll be like, psych. But this day and age, this day and age, Myles, I don't even think I would acknowledge him. Like if I saw my bully, or I would do something to the point where I wouldn't like verbally acknowledge them, but I might walk past them a few times just to make sure they can see me. I wouldn't say anything, wouldn't do anything. I might walk past like a hot drink and a burger just to really rub it in, and then stop in front of them and just take a big bite out of the burger and then keep it moving. But I don't think, again, I've never been bullied, so I don't know if people are still holding on to that pain from school. If you think they deserved it for everything they did to you, hey, each to their own. But let me know. Let me know in the comments, what would you do if you bumped into your old high school bully right now? They look down on the look. How would you handle that situation? And speaking of bullying, so if you're in my generation, I'm 27. So I went to high school from 2004 to 2009 was my high school stint. But do you have bullies in primary school? Again, I've never been a bully and I've never been bullied. So I don't know if there are bullies in primary school. Like primary school, you're so young. I don't even think you know how to bully. I think it's just kids being kids. In primary school, I do believe it's just kids being kids. Sometimes you'll be everyone's best friend. Other days, everyone will fall out with you and you've got to play by yourself. That is primary school. But when it comes to high school, and bullying. Is it worse now? Is it worse now than it was when we were younger? Or what people say is that are people softer these days now than they are? Like I said, I'm trying to remember any instances of bullying. Some people might watch and think, Myles, you don't know that this person used to bully it? No. I might have been completely oblivious to it, but I don't remember any massive bullying. I do. Yeah, I do. I remember some bullying we had. So this is before social media. So everyone, you lot remember Pixo? I'll leave a pause for all those people. If you don't remember Pixo, you might be too young. But for all those that remember Pixo, Pixo was like, I don't know how to explain what it was like. It was like Twitter, but there was only sort of like one page. There wasn't a feed. It was just literally your page. And you could have different pages like pictures. And people used to do like polls like who's hotter. We had one bullying case where a group of girls created a Pixo page about one other girl. The worst thing is we were all in the same tutor. Like the 2 or 3, maybe 4 of the girls were all in my tutor, and then they had a few friends elsewhere. And then the one girl who they made this Pixo about was in our tutor as well. And it was kind of the whole, we had like 2 girl groups, 2 main, for podcast listeners, I'm doing air quotes around main girl groups. But like you had like one set of girl groups, another set of girl group who didn't really, I don't even know if they talk, but there wasn't really the most affection between those 2. And they created a Pixo page about someone, and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, I think it might be, bullying might be a lot harder or a lot worse these days, because we had Bebo, where the only thing I think people were concerned about, we had Bebo and MySpace, and your biggest concern on Bebo and MySpace is, am I your top friend? Like some of the biggest concerns with MySpace were probably, am I your top friend? What MySpace skin are you gonna have? And are you gonna have any music playing so that when someone clicks on your profile, there's music? Bebo, you had, who's your top friend? Who's in your top friends? Because you could have, what was the minimum you could have? I think the minimum you could have was either 4 or 8. But it was like 4, 8, 16, 32, and you could have a bunch of people in your top friends. You then had your other half, who, back then I didn't have a girlfriend, so it was never my girlfriend. I think it was just whatever girl I fancied at the time or who you was talking to. They then became your other half on Bebo. And then there was love. I'm part of the class that, when I was originally on Bebo, you could only send 1 love a day. People are thinking, what the hell is love? It's literally just a love heart. Like, it was a comment with love and you would just share. That's what they need to bring back these days. You were just sharing the love to someone, but you could only send 1. And then I think on Valentine's Day, it changed to where you could send like 3. And then I think over time it changed that you could send 3 love. Any day you could send 3 love. And then Valentine's Day, you could send unlimited love. Do you remember owning pictures? I should try and find my own Bebo. Do you remember owning pictures? So if you don't, anyone that's thinking to themselves, what do you mean owning pictures? Someone would upload a picture just like you do on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And then in the comment section, instead of commenting, oh, you look cute, someone would just say own, or I own this, or ownage. My God, do you remember the word ownage? And then what you would do is on the picture caption, you would just change it to such and such owns this picture. They didn't own it. Like, you didn't send them the picture. They didn't have permission to use your picture anywhere. It was just literally, yo, you look good, or I like this picture. I own this picture. Things we used to do as kids. And giving you passwords. I think, how many people? I think there was 2 people. I think I gave my password to 2 girls for Bebo, which then meant, 1, I could never send love to anyone because one girl would always race to get home. There was 2 girls in school that had my Bebo password, and they would race to get home to send themselves love. And whoever got home first would then send themselves love. And then I also had my, your bio. I think one of them hacked that and writ something in it like, hacked such and by such and such. Yeah, Bebo was such a crazy, crazy time. You had music videos on your page. When someone clicked on your page, you could have the music video and you'd press play, or you could have it play automatically. You had Bebo skins. I'm trying to think of what else was on Bebo. I'm trying to remember what Bebo even looked like. I just remember it being a red circle with a B for the logo. No, the logo was just like a squared Bebo. I don't know how I went from bullying to talking about Bebo, but I was on about Pixo and bullying on Pixo and if it's harder. But yeah, we only had MySpace and Bebo, and I don't remember too much bullying happening on those things. And that's probably because as well, back then when we were younger, we had MSN. There was probably bullying on MSN, but we had MSN. You'd have like your MSN groups. And if anyone was as thirsty as me, you'd keep logging, signing in and out of MSN so that it would just spam people's computers so that they could see it was on. And then you'd have your cool name, and then the cool kids learned how to like change the style of your name so it was slanted, or you had the colors. And then you had oh my God, I had about 15 different names in my, what was it called? What was the bit under your name called? Was it a caption? But you had your main name and you had like your caption. And I used to put all names, like someone's name, then a flower, then someone's name, then a love heart, and then you'd have people arguing, I want to be moved up, and all sorts of things. You could send pings, or was it a nudge? A nudge or a ping? I can't remember which one's BBM and which one was MSN. I think it was a nudge. But you just nudge someone and just shake your whole shit on the computer. I'm so glad we don't have MSN these days. You think you could leave someone on red when they've got nudge? Just keep nudging and shaking your whole stuff. So maybe it's a good thing that's gone. But yeah, what I was going to say is back then, you had to see the people you were talking about. I feel like when we were younger, and I was on social media, Bieber and MySpace, I was only friends with people I knew, so everyone I went to school with, family, some friends of friends, and maybe a few people from another school who you'd probably see like once a few Saturdays over the park, or you knew through another friend. So people probably weren't talking that much shit, because you'd end up having to see that person, like you'd have to see them at school, or if you didn't go to the same school, you'd have to see them on like the Friday night or Saturday night. So I feel like back then there was a lot more control, whereas with social media these days, it's anyone and everyone. Like you could fuck up at school we're in Birmingham, so you could do something in school in Birmingham and have people in London, Manchester, Hamburg, Amsterdam, New York, Nepal. You could have people from all over the world see this and take the piss. And the only reason why the reason why bullying is worse these days is for the quantity. Like, it's just, if you're getting bullied, it tends to be a lot of people, everyone on social media, everyone seems to be going at you, your picture goes viral, or your picture's going viral amounts or certain amounts of people, and there's a narrative being painted by you online. Like it must be shit to deal with. Fingers crossed I never have to deal with that. And heart goes out to anyone that has had to deal with the cyberbullying of 2020 or the past few years, because I can imagine that shit is intense to deal with. Just message. Imagine getting bullied so much you feel like you can't go on social media. Because I see that. I see a bunch of people saying, "Oh, if you're getting bullied on social media, just come off social media." Or like, you can't say just don't read the comments, because then you'd never know what's going on. Like, everyone reads comments, so you'd see some bad comments. For some people, it's harder to ignore these comments than it is to ignore other, like, your more popular comments. You see people saying, "Oh, just stay off social media then. Just take a few days off Facebook, a few days off Instagram," which in this day and age, it all depends on who's bullying you. If you've gone viral, so like the whole world's watching you, it's going to be a tough few days, because things that go viral, they only tend to stay on the timeline for like a day or two. It's a tough few days, and then maybe like a slightly easier, but still tough week or 2 weeks with the aftermath of dealing with all that. Like, do you guys remember, I don't even remember his name. Do you guys remember the two people that got caught on New Year's Eve and the guy was eating out the girl on the steps? Whew. Listen, that was a hard few, I don't know this person by the way, but that must have been a hard few days for both the man and that woman. But yeah, after like a week or two, you didn't really see it, you didn't really hear about it much, and then every now and again, when New Year comes up, you might see the video, or you might see like a picture of that video saying it's that time of year. But I'm sure they're both, I'm not sure, I hope they're both living a happy life after all that has happened, and have been able to move on and enjoy future New Years. And hopefully they've learnt the lesson, and no matter what happens, wait till you're inside. Like, when you think, for those that haven't seen it, I don't know the context of what happened before or after. I just know what is happening there. And what is happening there is I don't know where they are. I think it's in London. Someone's just walking and they must catch these people. But there's a woman sat on concrete steps. Remember, right, first of all, this is New Year's. So you know it's December, January, so it's cold. It's New Year's night. This might be before the midnight or after midnight. Either way, it's night, so it's even colder. She is sat on concrete steps in a skirt. He's further down, head in between the legs, eating some chow chow, going to town. Camera comes around the corner. She doesn't even stop him. She's got a hand on his head. I think she tries to cover her face. He has no idea what's going on around him. I think he tries to run off when he realizes what's happening. But listen, we spoke about PDA, public displays of affection, recently, and that was just holding hands. Listen, I am not against eating the box. I'm not one of these people that's going to lie and say they don't do it. Listen, I don't need a knife or fork. And then yeah. But back to the subject I'm actually talking about. I've never been that horny. I've never been that horny. That must have been the only situation I can see that would arise is that must have been like he was getting shipped out to he was either getting shipped out to the army or he was being deported. She was being shipped out somewhere or being deported. This was the last time. They were like 100% sure that this was the last time they were ever going to see each other, like a Cinderella thing. They must have met each other that night, and there was no scope of getting a hotel, going into someone's car, risking it and getting your freak on and calling a taxi and just, we've all been there. Don't judge me. And if you haven't been there, I don't know where you've been, but you never just been in the back of a taxi or an Uber and you're on the way somewhere and you're like, can't wait, just, Oh. Yeah, if you're listening to this and not watching it, you're lucky. So we've all been there, but there was more, surely they were in a club. So I feel like you would have left the club, which would have been warmer, possibly have had more privacy. Clubs have toilets. I'm exposing myself and what I used to get up to. But you listen, I don't judge you, so don't judge me. I'm just saying there are better situations and there are better things that you could have done and better places you could have gone than on some cold, hard, concrete steps, which felt like they were just out in the open for, as you see in the video, anyone to walk past and catch you in your nasty act. But yeah, this all came from the World Star video. So yeah, back to that World Star video. Let me know if you've ever been bullied. Sorry that you were bullied, even though it wasn't me that bullied you. But yeah, if you were someone that bullied, or if you hypothetically were bullied back in school as a kid, and then as you're older, let's say 10 years time, you're older, you've left school, 10 years on, you see your old school bully and they are down on their luck, going through hard times, possibly homeless. Would you acknowledge them? Would you say something to them? And would you rub it in their face? Would you see that and think, listen, karma's clearly done enough, I'm gonna leave you be? Or would you say, no, they used to kick me when I was down and they never stopped, so I don't care if you're down, I'm gonna kick you now and not stop, because I'm gonna treat you the way you treated me? Because that is a fair, when you think of it that way, that's a fair thing to say / do. But then there's also the bigger person and getting over it. And listen, karma works both ways. So while he might be dealing with his karma, by you get involved, you might just be asking for your own karma to come with you that way as well. But we've got past that. Let's talk about, I think my main topic for tonight, we're going back to school here. Main topic for tonight, this video comes out Thursday, the 5th of November. So remember, the 5th of November. It is Bonfire night, it is Guy Fawkes night. It's also night number 1 of lockdown part 2. So I was just about to ask the question, does anyone have any plans for Bonfire night? I don't even know if you can have plans. It looks like fireworks from the garden. Maybe a few people will just like go out into the actual, depending on what kind of street you live in, you could probably get away with just going into the middle of your street and just letting off fireworks for the whole street to see. Everyone can come to their front door and look up. If you're like me and you live in a hilly area, I live on like the top of a hilly area, so I can just sit in my bedroom, enjoy the warmth and just look out and watch all of the beautiful fireworks going off. I am a fan of fireworks. I love a firework display. Best firework display I've seen easily is when I went Disneyland Paris. Disneyland Paris, those fireworks with the castle, flipping amazing. I think it helps that it's Disney and that they're playing all the Disney music and the fireworks go with whatever's playing on the projections on the castle. But yeah, the fire, it wasn't even Bonfire night. I think Disney just let fireworks off every 3-4 days. Fuck pollution. they're just letting fireworks off to go. But no, it is Bonfire night. So the first thing that I thought was, it's Bonfire night. What's everyone gonna do? Because I've seen people selling fireworks. But I was like, you can't go anywhere for Bonfire night. There's nothing that you can do on Bonfire night. It's all gonna be from the house. But then it might be a dumb moment. I won't say a blonde moment, because not all blondes are stupid. Keep your opinions to yourself. But I had a dumb moment where I stopped and was like, oh, why do we celebrate Bonfire Night? And I was like, Guy Fawkes. I think everyone knows the basis of Bonfire Night. Someone called Guy Fawkes tried to blow up Parliament, got caught. We have Bonfire Night. So I was like, hold on, let me actually see. I tried to do research like I always try and do to try and find out the actual story and why we celebrate. So the story, I got it correct. Here we go. Let's story time for everyone that doesn't actually know about Guy Fawkes. Again, I'm not saying that this is 100% true or correct, or even that it's 100% of everything that I read. I'm not using, my notes are just notes. I haven't actually got something on there to read like I have done in previous episodes. So it started out with, sugar, I've already forgot. England was, I think the England royal family or whoever's in charge were Protestants. That sounds right. Yep. They were Protestants, and there was a bunch of Catholics. Look at this. Violence caused by religion. Who'd have thought it, eh? Yeah. Let's trigger some people there. We'll talk about religion and violence and how religion incites violence and how religion is used to fuel violence and how everyone just falls for it and clings on to their religions. But like I said, I'm not here to judge, even though I sound very judgmental. Back to Guy Fawkes. So the Parliament was clearly run by Protestants. There was a group of Catholics who didn't want England to be run by Protestants. They wanted it to be run by someone who is Catholic. It's probably a much more interesting story if I'd found out why. I don't know. Again, I'm still confused at the difference between a Protestant and a Catholic. I think, here we go. Again, don't attack me. I might be wrong. I feel like Protestants base their religion around Jesus and God, whereas Catholics base their religion more around Mary. I think. Possibly. The one thing I do know is the difference between a cross and a crucifix. A cross, I said I do know so confidently. Here we go. I'm sure a cross is what a Protestant, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, a Protestant. A cross is what the people would wear, and that's just a cross. A crucifix is what Catholics, or what some Catholics would wear, and a crucifix is actually the cross with someone, Jesus or Jesus, if you're Spanish, is Jesus actually pinned onto the cross. So that's the difference between a cross and a crucifix, if anyone was wondering. Might be wrong, but I'm sure that's correct. But yeah, there was a group of people who wanted to get rid of the Protestant rule and wanted a Catholic rule in. Fun fact, Guy Fawkes was actually Protestant to start with, but then he converted to Catholicism? What's the ism for Catholics? He swapped sides and became Catholic. That's the simpler way of saying it. He then got approached by these people. They were like, yo, fuck Protestants. We want to fuck their shit up and we want Catholics to run. So they came up with their whole big scheme, which is the scheme I'm sure everyone is aware of. I tried to work out if it was true or not. It seems true. So there was I think it's 5 or 6 of them all plotted to blow up Parliament. So how it worked is you had Parliament, and then underground they had like underground tunnels, and there was a room underneath Parliament where Guy Fawkes, the people we all hear of, or what did he call himself? I think he called himself John Johnson to start with. I think he gave a fake names like I'm John Johnson when he got caught. But he had 36 barrels of gunpowder. I was planning to light that. And now I have no idea how much gunpowder is needed to do anything, but 36 sounds like a lot. It sounds like he was looking to give the whole of London a facelift, not just Parliament. Like he was doing an efficient job. He didn't want to just make sure he blew up the floor or blew up the building. He wanted to make sure everybody was getting it. Everyone was getting blown up. So 36 barrels of gunpowder seems very sufficient. From the stories and the research I did, apparently he was just chilling. Oh no, before that, what then happened is when this conspiracy was happening, when they were plotting to blow up, one of the conspiracists, one of the people trying to blow stuff up, all of a sudden got cold feet. And then one of the people that's planning to blow something up wrote a letter to Parliament or to someone in Parliament who it was either someone he was friends with or someone he cared about. And I think what his letter was, I'm just guessing now, I think he wrote a letter to this person to say, yo, don't turn up to Parliament tomorrow. It's not as sweet as you think it's going to be. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. But I think he says, don't turn up tomorrow. There's a threat. If I was you, I'd stay away. And then what happened is this person got this letter and was like, oh, let me go and tell everyone. Whether the other person intended it for it to happen that way, I'm not too sure. But he was like, let me go tell everyone. The letter somehow got passed from him to King James the first or second, someone, a King James, one of them, King James seen it, got worried and was like, right, here we go. Let's check this out just to make sure. Because I think he thought it was a hoax at first, but he wanted to make sure, so we got it all checked out. So what actually happened is on the night, on the 5th of November, that we all must remember. Also, don't you think it's funny that remember the 5th of November? Like, you have to remember the 5th of November, which happened in 1606. But people are always like, why don't black people forget about slavery? Just going to leave that there. Like I said, I'm not going to dive into it. I'm just saying it's funny how when people try to blow up Parliament, we must remember the 5th of November. We have a whole fucking fireworks celebration about it. But the minute someone wants to bring up slavery, it's like, let it go. Oh my God, it wasn't even us. Stop blaming white people. I am so sorry that you guys are benefiting from the fuckery that your ancestors caused and you hate hearing about it. But you know what? Whatever. We'll remember the 5th. I'm getting triggered myself now, right? Back to Guy Fawkes. So, but yeah, the night he got caught, apparently they sent someone down to search the room. And well, I don't know if he was there. I don't think he was there, but they searched the room and didn't find anything. And then they sent someone else back. They did a second sweep. I don't know why they did a second sweep. They just thought to do a second sweep, and they caught Guy Fawkes stood outside of the building or outside of the room or something. And apparently he wasn't dressed like the guards or the horsemen or anyone in Parliament. So it looked suspicious. They, I don't know, grabbed him, went in the room. And apparently he had all this gunpowder behind barrels. So if you just walked in the room and looked at the front, you'd think nothing of it. When you actually move stuff around and have a proper look, they found all the gunpowder. They found the dynamite or whatever he was going to use to blow shit up. So then he was captured and tortured. So then I'm reading this now, I was like, motherfuckers. So this is the definition of a snitch. The literal definition of a snitch is going to do something with your gang. And then the worst thing is, he wasn't even caught. He got cold feet and just voluntarily snitched and was like, no, go here. Now, when you read it, I think they've still got the original letter, because that's the thing as well. The guy that wrote the letter, he told the person he gave the letter to burn the letter. So it was only meant for him. But instead of burning the letter, he then took the letter to the king, which fucked up everything. Cold feet, man. So you got to be careful who's in your camp. He fucked up everything. So Guy Fawkes got captured, and then he got tortured. So like you said, I think his name was John Johnson. He basically got tortured for a long ass time. I'm assuming he got tortured. And then Guy Fawkes ended up snitching and dobbing in his whole team as well. I don't know how long I was researching for. I still couldn't find out who the original snitch was, because he doesn't leave his name on the piece of paper. Again, Guy Fawkes didn't know who it was. So when Guy Fawkes got captured, I'm sure, and tortured, I think he just snitched on all the names he knew. Which, again, if you're in Guy Fawkes' position, if they told you, and especially if they showed you a letter, it's like, yo, someone told us you were planning to do this, and you're like, well, there's only us 6 that knew we were going to do it. Are you gonna hold it down and carry on getting tortured? Or are you thinking, listen, I'm getting tortured, I'm gonna die anyway, fuck it, one of them snitched on me, I might as well snitch on all of them. But either way, Guy Fawkes, I don't know if you can call it snitching if someone snitches on you and then you're getting tortured, but Guy Fawkes basically told. So he then told on all of his friends. I think he was then executed. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, Guy Fawkes was tortured. He told on them, then he got executed. They went out, captured everyone else, and I do believe everyone else was then arrested and probably tortured and executed along the same lines of that. I think, I might be wrong, he might have been hung, drawn and quartered. I might have just made that bit up, but he was definitely tortured and he was definitely executed. But the whole point of that, the main reason why I did my research, is because I got confused, especially in the day and age we're in now. And I was like, okay, so we celebrate Bonfire Night, which is the night Guy Fawkes tried to blow up Parliament, but failed. And we celebrate that by blowing stuff up. So I was like, Bonfire Night, do we celebrate Bonfire Night because we like Guy Fawkes and we liked what he did? Or are we celebrating Bonfire Night because he failed and we like the government? Because I don't know who's watching this, but the way our government, just the way our government is, full stop, but the way our government's tried to handle coronavirus and the fact that like coronavirus came, we had a lockdown, they eased up the lockdown, and then the government told us to go eat out to help out, and then blamed all the young people who were going out who were eating out to help out for going out and spreading the virus again. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to do what Guy Fawkes did, and I'm not saying I agree with what Guy Fawkes attempted to do. I'm just saying I understand. Like, I understand. I understand wanting to get the highest explosives possible, running right into government, right outside, not even under, just put it on number 10's front door. See that doorstep that we all saw and was all waiting for this fucking announcement? Just 2,020 barrels, all just crammed on the doorstep. Hypothetically, I don't want MI6 or whoever the hell our Secret Service is kicking off my door. I haven't got plans to do anything. I'm just saying I can understand why someone wanted to blow the hell out of Parliament and government and put their own style of government in there as well. But there you go, guys. That is your short history lesson on Bonfire Night. I do believe, to answer the question, Bonfire Night is to celebrate Guy Fawkes failing. However, in this day and age, I don't think anyone here is happy that he failed. Or do I believe that a lot of people would be against a modern day Guy Fawkes attempting to do something very similar? But no, what you're meant to do, I don't know if you've noticed this when you go to a bonfire night, I think you just see a fire, an actual bonfire, and then you see fireworks go off. You're meant to burn, and is it an epilogy? I don't know what the fucking word is, I forgot it, I saw it earlier, but basically it's like a scarecrow that's meant to be Guy Fawkes, and you're meant to put Guy Fawkes in the middle of your wood, and then you're meant to burn that and set Guy Fawkes on fire and blah 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 blah. The V for Vendetta, if you know the V for Vendetta mask, or if you've ever like Googled Halloween mask, the two most common masks you probably get is the Scream mask, and then there's the white mask with the mustache and the eyebrows. Apparently that's based on Guy Fawkes. That whole, like with the witch hat and the big gloves, the boots, like how a scarecrow's dressed. But that face, the white face with the long mustache and the thicky eyebrows and the eyes, that is all based on the character of, not the character, the actual real life person of Guy Fawkes. So that's what you're meant to do. So there's your history lesson. If you're ever wondering what is Bonfire Night, it's to celebrate some Catholic that wanted to blow up Parliament so they could put more Catholics in power. However, it failed because someone, like, just imagine, like, imagine if they'd all survived, or they all got just arrested and not executed, and they were just sat in jail, and you just had to sit there looking at your codees like, yo, especially if you were Guy Fawkes, like, you guys came to me saying that you wanted to put someone Catholic in power. We planned it all out for weeks or months. We were literally there, like, I was there, I was ready to light this shit on fire. And what? Because you played tennis with this boy at school. That's not the actual reason. I'm still not too sure. But because you like this one person, you wanted to fuck up the whole, you fucked up the whole movement. You got us all killed. Countries in bits. It's crazy. And I can see why you would be angry. I can see why you'd be angry at that as well, getting snitched on. But it is Bonfire Night, so hopefully you all get to see some lovely firework displays. But once the fireworks have finished and it turns over to the 6th of November, in England or in the UK, we don't have any other major national celebrated holiday. I have to say national because there's religious holidays. And Christmas is a religious holiday, but it's treated as a national holiday. There is no other national holidays between now and Christmas. So I feel like once you've listened to this podcast, or if you're listening to this podcast after the day it has dropped, we are officially on the road to Christmas. I say officially. I'm not the officializer of it all. I'm not the official of it all, so it's not up to me. But I feel like, me personally, in the past, I've never thought about Christmas until at least after Halloween. Because again, as I mentioned before, I love costumes and costume parties. So I've always been concentrated on, as soon as October gets here, September is like, are we going to do anything for Halloween? October gets here and all you're thinking about is your Halloween costume. And what all I think about is my Halloween costume and what I'm going to do for Halloween. And if it's going to work and if I'm going to look scary or cool. So all that's gone. We are now on the road to Christmas. With this lockdown be announced, I feel like now is a better time to start the road than ever. I used to be one of these people that used to be like, guys, wait till the 1st of December, or That was my rule. My rule was always wait till the 1st of December before you start doing decorations. I'm not one of these, I used to be, but now I've got a kid. I'm not one of these people that moans at anyone that wants to start their Christmas shopping July, August, September. Hear me out. Think about it. Most people, I would say, live paycheck to paycheck, which isn't a bad thing. It just means before you can buy certain things or before you do a big purchase, you tend to have to wait till you get paid before you can do these things again. Which means if you think about it, especially if you're a parent with more than one kid, but if you're a parent and you want to start Christmas shopping, you can't start shopping in this with your November payday because that's going to leave you broke. So unless you're either not buying a lot or everything you're buying is really cheap, that's going to leave you broke. So you do need to start your Christmas shopping around the August, September times. Get a few presents, keep the rest of your money, then you get paid again, then you get a few more presents. So the road to Christmas starts early for a lot of people. But in terms of decor and decorations, I would personally say 1st of December. However, we're currently in another lockdown, or we're going into another lockdown, another 4-week lockdown that's meant to be lifted on the 2nd of December, but we'll see what happens when we get to the 2nd of December. I feel like the road to Christmas should start now, which means I feel like everyone should be throwing their Christmas trees up. All of the houses and the streets should probably start getting all their Christmas decorations up. My local shopping centre, Merry Hill, they have their Christmas decorations up for at least 2-3 weeks now. And I still didn't think anything of it. And you know what it is? Christmas is a sign that it's towards the end of the year. So anything that we can do to get out of this year, even though I assume 2021 is going to start the same way 2020 is going to end, shit, possibly in lockdown with this virus floating around the air and infecting all of these people that no one seems to know. Again, another conversation for another day. But I feel like now is the right time to start the road to Christmas. So let me know what's on your road to Christmas. I've done I've done most of my shopping. I've only got like a few little bits and bobs to get, but all my main shopping is done. So Mila should have a fantastic Christmas and not have to worry about me not getting her anything because everything has been brought. So all the presents have been brought. In terms of food, I'm one of these people that doesn't buy Christmas food until maybe like a week or two before Christmas, which is risky. But yeah, I know people have probably already started making their Christmas cakes because Christmas cake, that lasts for like a month or two, it feels like. So people have already started making their Christmas cake. People have already started testing out Christmas dinners. Because I said this, I had a conversation with a few of my friends, like, does anyone here does anyone here's family test out Christmas cooking before it gets to Christmas? And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, some people want a different, like your main bird, so turkey in most houses, but some people go for 3-in-1s, some people have a nut roast, some people don't have turkey at all. It's like, do you practice your turkey cooking? Do you practice cooking another bird or another animal in time for Christmas? What are your sides? I'm from a Caribbean household, so my Christmas dinner is like my Sunday dinner. It's like a mixture of Caribbean food and British food. So my Christmas dinner, turkey, the Christmas dinner main meats, turkey, mutton / curry goat, and some form of chicken, maybe fish, depends on how the household's feeling. But then already you've got turkey, curry goat, mutton. Sides, you've got roast potatoes, you've got rice and peas, pigs in blankets, mac and cheese, depending on just how ghetto the house is going to be, because it's not a Caribbean thing, mac and cheese. It's more of an Americanized ghetto black family thing to have mac and cheese at Christmas. Brussels sprouts, all your veg, callaloo, even though I hate callaloo. That's all there. All your veg, your sides, coleslaw, homemade coleslaw. None of this store-bought stuff. Homemade coleslaw absolutely bangs. If you don't like coleslaw, you need to try homemade coleslaw. You need to try my auntie's, specifically my Auntie Jenny's homemade coleslaw. That shit is amazing. And then you got your drinks. You got your non-alcoholic drinks, your J2Os, your slurs, the tropical juices. You got your alcoholic drinks. You got your Guinness fruit punch, which I love punch. I don't like Guinness. I'm not a fan of beer or lager. Guinness, I love nourishment. One of the main ingredients to Guinness fruit punch is nourishment. The only reason I like it so much, the only reason I even like nourishment without liking Guinness punch is because as a kid, when Christmas time comes, Mum and Stepdad would always buy like 4 or 5 tins of nourishment. And as a kid, when you get thirsty sometimes, I used to see the nourishment and think, what is this? And at the time, it used to say like milkshake drinks. I used to think it was a milkshake. So I remember I used to take the can, go upstairs, make sure no one saw me take a whole can of nourishment that was meant to be used for the Guinness punch, start drinking it, and then I just got addicted. And even to this day, Vanilla Nourishment or Strawberry Nourishment are some of my two favorite go-to drinks to go to. I try and drink just water, but I'm not as strong as I like to be. So every time I do crack or break and I'm in a shop, I will grab me a vanilla or strawberry nourishment just to quench my thirst. What else happens on the road to Christmas? You normally sorting out Christmas plans, like where are you going for the Christmas? Up until last year when I moved out, it was always, I was at my mum's for Christmas. I always had a routine from when I left school. I always had the routine I'd spend Christmas, majority of Christmas with the family. And then as soon as Christmas evening came on, I'd go meet up with all my friends. We'd all go to like someone's house. It's normally either Jovan's house or Mitch's house, because Jovan had the house where we could have everyone round, and Mitch has like his own cabin in the garden. So we'd always go through there. And then as years went on, I'd have dinner at my house, and I'd leave my house and go to my girlfriend's house, have some time with the girlfriend and her family, then leave hers on the night, and then go and catch up with my friends. I don't even think I did that last Christmas. Last Christmas, it was all family. This Christmas, it looks like it's going to be a household thing. But normally we leave. Normally, like, we leave the house, go to one parent's house, then go to another parent's. I say normally. Last year, went to one parent's house on Christmas. This year, if the lockdown finishes on December the 2nd, I'm telling you now, it's not going to finish December the 2nd. I feel like they're going to extend it for another week or two. I don't think they'll do it over Christmas, only because I don't think they'll want to riot. But just in case it does go over Christmas, what plans have people got? Because originally I was like, I don't care, I'm still going to go. But then I remembered that I'm sure the government, with the first lockdown, I don't know if they're going to do it for the second lockdown, I'm sure the government were offering rewards of up to like 10 grand if you were to tell on people breaking the lockdown rules. So although I feel like people don't care, people also would love 10 grand. So like if they see you walk into someone else's house on Christmas, it wouldn't shock me for people to ring the police and say, oh, we saw someone's just reported that someone's come in the house. And I'm assuming if this happens, the police are going to come in the house, although you can hide in wardrobes. There's only hide in a wardrobe, hide under a bed, run out into the garden and go hide in the garage and the police knock the door. Listen, I'm giving you guys all sorts of things. If you're one of these people that only has like 2 households around, so you've only got to hide like another 3 or 4 people, run out into the garden, go out into your garage, hide in wardrobes, hide under your beds, open the bathroom door, depending on your bathrooms, like how your bathroom looks, open your bathroom door, like leave your bathroom door open and just like stand in your bath and stand behind the shower curtain, or lie down in the bath and hope no one pops their head in to actually have a decent look. But yeah, this lockdown's messing up all sorts of Christmas plans. And I feel like the Christmas is the one thing people needed this year. I personally thought summer was the one thing people needed this year, but we were on lockdown for summer, so it's like you couldn't really go anywhere or do anything. If you're like me, you've got a shit garden, so you couldn't even spend time in your garden that much anyway. So I thought Christmas, it's when families are all brought together, friends are all brought together. You've got all your Christmas movies on TV. It's just a nice time of year. Everyone's feeling loving and welcoming and all Christmassy. And now, this virus, again for podcast listeners, I'm doing air quotes, this virus it's slowly sucking all of the Christmas out of Christmas. And I'm saying, fuck it. Fuck that. You're not ruining my Christmas. You're not ruining anyone in my family's Christmas. I am still going to Christmas it up. So my road to Christmas has begun. I haven't put the Christmas tree up yet, but I am tempted to, instead of waiting to the 1st of December, I am tempted just to put the Christmas tree up just a little bit earlier. Just so that when I wake up in the morning and I walk downstairs and I see the Christmas tree and I see the lights on, it might make me smile a bit. People walking past my house in the daytime, they might see my Christmas tree, might make them smile, bring a smile to someone's face just to have you thinking, it's Christmas. Click and collect is still happening, so it's not like you can't get presents anymore. The same thing happens around this time. If you haven't brought all your main presents by now, all the main big presents are probably already sold out. Especially with lockdown, things were selling out like hotcakes as it was, so now you want to buy things for presents. But you know, you've got all your click and collect web services there, still active. Food. I know when we went back into a lockdown, a lot of places got hit by panic buyers buying loo roll, which is another conversation. Like, another thing I have to ask people is, why toilet roll? I don't get it. Why toilet roll and pasta is what I was saying. Because people are like, oh, pasta's long life food, but what are you buying it for? Like, if coronavirus, let's say the worst happens and coronavirus turns people into zombies and we have a zombie pandemic and everyone's out on the run, what are you going to do with pasta? You're probably thinking, Myles, I'm going to cook it. But like, you're on the run. Like, this means you then need to stop somewhere and find clean water and find or make fire, and then you've got to wait to cook your pasta. Listen, I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm just saying I'm sure there's other food out there that aren't as perishable, like crackers that you could probably take and live off rather than taking pasta. And toilet roll. Why do people take toilet roll? Like, people are going to judge me now, but if push comes to shove and there's no toilet roll, just get in the shower. It's as simple as that. Just get in the shower and wash your booty and your body in the shower. Use your hand, bit of soap, get in there, wash it off, rinse it between, like, you know, when you bend over, I don't know if people have done this, but you know, you bend over and spread your cheeks a little bit and let the shower wash all of that, just wash it all away. It's as simple as that. So I don't know why people are panic buying and why they are panic buying the items that they are panic buying. But yeah, get your food shopping in. Let me know what it is you look forward to at Christmas. I think I've already brought and devoured 3 packs of pigs in blankets and maybe got through like 10 boxes of mince pies by now. They're the 2 things I look forward to at Christmas. Mince pies and pigs in blankets. And sometimes Christmas cake, but it depends because I don't like nuts. So I think it's pretty selfish when people make a Christmas cake and add nuts in there. Like, it doesn't need nuts, just do raisins and then the thickest layer of marzipan with icing on top. Marzipan and icing. Listen, you know, some of those Christmas cakes, in the past, I've brought Christmas cakes knowing they have nuts in it, cut all the cake off just so you've got that thick layer of yellow marzipan with that nice thick white icing on top. And I've just set the icing and marzipan, and I'm not ashamed about it. I'll probably end up doing it again this year. And I'm not lying. I'm tempted just to buy marzipan and just Battenberg cakes. It's like 100% marzipan. They are possibly my favorite cake, Battenbergs. But yeah, back to the road to Christmas. So you've got your shopping done, your decorations. How often do people buy new decorations? Because I feel like once you buy decorations, there's a time in your life when you would have brought all your decorations to decorate your house. When Christmas is over, surely you just put all those decorations back in the box and put them in the loft or a garage or wherever you do to keep them safe, and then get them back out next year. So I don't get who are these people that are buying Christmas decorations every single year and why. If you've redecorated, I understand, because then you might want the decorations to match that, match your house. If you've like extended your family and you want to add more Christmas decorations, or maybe you're a bit braver and you went small one year and you're like, oh, I want to get some outside lights this year, that's fine. But the people who buy Christmas decorations every year, why and how are you buying so many of these Christmas decorations? There's only so many decorations that can fit on the tree. Personally, never been a fan of Christmas tree lights on the outside of the house. Hear me out. It's very difficult to get it just right. Because what I feel like is you either have the people that put up like one set of lights, like one set of fairy lights that blink on their house. And I just think to myself, it looks shit. It just looks cheap and tacky. It just looks, it's like you haven't done an effort. Or you then get the people that go over the top and have Santa and Rudolph and snowmen and everything on their roof and lights going every which way. And it's like a star. It's like the sun in the middle of your street. And it's just a tacky vision of just light stuff, and just, I don't like that. I'm also very bougie. So I'm one of those people that I don't like people that have Christmas lights that don't match. Like, don't have blue and white lights in your windows and then green and red lights on your doors. Pick one color pattern and stick to it for the outside of your house. Have a cohesive pattern on the front of your house. Again, I won't be putting lights up on mine. Another reason why I don't like the lights is where I used to live in Tividale, there was at least 3 houses on a Regent Road that left their Christmas lights up. And when I say left their Christmas lights up, I'm talking for years. Like, to the point where you drive past in July and just see brown lights, like this brown wire on someone's house. And year after year, they turn those things on for Christmas and then they turn it back off after Christmas, but they still leave them just plastered all over the house and all over the wall. And it's just so tacky. If you're going to do Christmas decorations, get it right. Please get it right. And you're probably thinking, so what, Myles? What if we don't? Then you don't. You just have a tacky looking house. That's what you have to look forward to. Christmas is about bringing smiles to people's faces. You shouldn't be out there with a tacky looking house. All those people that have like Christmas lights that spell out rude words. As funny as I think it is, there are kids. Think about the children. But they're coming to the end of the podcast now. So we've talked about lockdown, Christmas, and something that I'm thinking to do and to start up on the way up to Christmas is something, I haven't thought of an official name for it yet, but I'm thinking to start a lockdown karaoke. You heard me right. Now, let me just put this disclaimer out there. I cannot sing. I can't nearly sing. I can't almost can sing. I cannot sing. I'm one of these people that if I went on X Factor, I'd make it on TV if I went on X Factor because I can't sing in the auditions, and it would be used to raise people's spirit laughing at me. But that's exactly why I'm thinking to start it. Like I saw we were plummeting back into the second lockdown, and I was like, Jesus Christ, the first lockdown affected me bad enough as it is, and then we're going back into, and we didn't technically really leave the lockdown like we think we left the lockdown. I think everyone was just out, so you just felt like you weren't in a lockdown, but there were still lockdown procedures going on and things set in place to limit what you can and can't do. So I was literally like, we're going back into a lockdown. At first, I went the selfish route. I was like, what am I gonna do to keep myself occupied and keep myself? Yes, I've got my family in the house, and I love them all to pieces. They all keep me going. But again, you're all trapped in the house. You're not getting as much social interaction, you're not getting as much outside fresh air as you're normally being. So it takes its toll, especially when you're still working. So I'm still going to be working through this lockdown. I'll be working from home, which is like I'm working from home now. And I thought to myself, I need to do something that I've got my family, I've got the podcast, but I was like, I need to do something that's going to help me look forward to something. Like, you know, when you just feel like you just need something to look forward to. So the first lockdown, I think it took me and my friends like a month or two to get started, but we started doing a quiz every Saturday. It was just so much fun just talking to my boys for like an hour, 2 hours on the night. It was like more like 2-3 hours on the night, to be fair. Doing a quiz, just a fun quiz, just making up questions as we go, doing different themed quizzes, and it was just so good and so refreshing. It was just something new, and it was something to look forward to. So I thought to myself, selfishly, what can I do to keep myself going? The first thing I did was Google PS5 pre-order, because I was trying to be a good, responsible dad. So I said to myself, I'm not going to pre-order a PS5 when the pre-order's open. And the money I'm going to spend on a PS5, it could be used to buy all, if not most, of my daughter's Christmas presents and Christmas presents for everyone else. So I did that, brought all the Christmas presents, and then this happened. I was like, you know what? I should just still pre-order a PS5. No pre-orders for a PS5 anywhere. So now I'm one of these people that is checking all of the websites day in, day out, checking Twitter, waiting to see when anyone's going to get more stock back in, when pre-orders are going to reopen, or if I'm just going to have to wait for the launch date and then for them to actually just launch consoles out and then go out and buy a console. So then that was like, well, you can't do that. What else are you going to do? It's winter. So the first lockdown, it was a lot easier for everyone that was out there doing their fitness things to do fitness in your garden or over the park. But it's winter, so it's going to be raining, it's going to be cold, you're going to have ice, we might get snow, fingers crossed we don't. It's literally right there in the back of the garage, covered in dust. Last lockdown, I brought a bike, started bike riding. I think I've already told you, fell off my bike, fractured my elbow, and I haven't even touched the bike since. I think I moved it from like the side of the garage to the back of the garage. I haven't touched my bike since, so I'm thinking to get back out on the bike for my fitness to make sure that keeps going. But I wanted to do something that meant interacting with people. And I wanted something that I thought, what can I do that's going to have, one, people can interact with me, two, it's fun for the people either getting involved or for the people watching, and four, something that can be easily controlled. And I saw, like I said this on my Instagram, like the lockdown karaoke wasn't my idea. But for Halloween, some of the YouTubers I watch and follow, they did like a scarioke, I think they called it, which was like a karaoke for Halloween where they all dressed up and did a Halloween karaoke. And I was like, that is such a dope idea. And then that's where it came to me. I was like, yo, maybe I should do a karaoke. Like anyone that's been in the car with me has most likely heard me sing or rap along. And I'm talking anything. Like if it plays in my car, I have sang along to it, whether it's Disney, Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Aretha Franklin, or rapping along to Jay-Z or Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar's been on repeat recently. Good Kid, Mad City. I have been going ham to that whole, possibly my favorite album from my favorite rapper. Yeah, I said it. Come at me. between him and Jay-Z, but I think Kendrick's just pipped him. I'll wait for Kendrick to drop another album and then I'll get back to you, because Jay-Z is my favourite. I think he's the GOAT. But Kendrick's also my favourite current rapper. But yeah, I saw the idea and I was like, yo, lockdown karaoke. So I was trying to think of things through, asking questions on my Instagram, and a few people seemed interested. So here's my idea, We do a lockdown karaoke, Instagram Live. I host it. The first one I'm going to do an open night. It's going to be open mic. So you can come and sing or rap whatever song you want to do. To make sure everyone feels comfortable, I've said like a minute. Either sing or rap for a minute, or you literally sing up to the first verse and wait for the end of the first chorus. So you do the verse, do the chorus, and then stop. If you want to keep going, keep going. If you want to stop after a minute and a half, you can stop. Hopefully, you'll have fun singing. Whether you can sing or can't sing, people will have fun watching you not sing. And it's karaoke, so I feel like you should never expect everyone to be world-class singers. And because it's going to be on my Instagram Live, like, I'm not Mr. Popular, so it's not like I have millions of followers where you might end up getting cyberbullied. It's just me and my friends who are all going to be in there with you anyway. So I was thinking like themed nights, like a 90s night, 80s night, power ballads night, a duet night. For anyone that's with their couples, get couples involved and get couples to come and sing some duets. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough. That's my genuine singing voice. And if you couldn't tell, the first one was me going high, the second one was me going deep to show the women and men. So watch out for my Jay-Z and Beyonce duet when that happens. I have genres. I was like, if you want to dress up, you can dress up. I don't have a mic. My idea is literally just put your phone in front of your TV or something and just type in whatever song you want to sing, karaoke version, or just type in whatever song you want to sing. Turn it up so we can kind of hear it, but we can also kind of hear you as well. And just get the lyrics up on the screen if you don't know the lyrics to whatever song it is you want to sing, and just go for it that way. And I just thought it's just something fun. It doesn't have to be long. It could just be like a few, like 5 people every time we do it. Just pull 5-6 people every time we do it. Get them on, sing a song, or if they want to sing 2 songs, they can sing 2 songs. Have a little conversation with them, see how they're doing, how they're coping, why they picked that song, ask them who their favorite artist is, say goodbye, and then bring on my next guest for it as well. So let me know what you think about my not Halloween. Let me know what you think about my lockdown karaoke. I'm trying to think of a title for it, like the MylesHighClub lockdown karaoke, but it doesn't have a quite ring to it, does it? Like the MylesHighClub podcast. So I'm thinking lockdown karaoke. Duration, minute to a minute and a half. You can sing whatever song or rap whatever song you wish. I've even said to people, if you're someone that's shy, cover your face, put something on your face, or stand back with your back towards the camera and just belt out some notes. I'm going to be holding everything because I'm a microphone. I'll be holding a broom as a mic. I might hold the TV remote as a mic. I might hold my phone as a mic, a hairbrush, aftershave, whatever you want it to be as a mic, you hold it as a mic. So I think this weekend I'm going to test it out. I'm going to go live on my Instagram and just start singing. Start singing to a bunch of different songs. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, MylesHighClub, MylesHighClub podcast, give me a follow, and I'm just going to start singing this weekend and see what kind of response I get. And then hopefully by the next time you see this podcast, I either would have hosted my first lockdown karaoke, or I would have announced the first lockdown karaoke to take place. So let me know what you think of lockdown karaoke. Let me know if you can think of any themed nights, like movie soundtracks or TV soundtracks. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Yeah, see, I bet some of you started singing like, I'll be there for you. Is it when the rain starts to pour? I think it's when the rain starts to pour. But there you go, I've just gone through 2. I feel like they're the 2 biggest ones I can think of. Who's that girl? Who's that girl? That's another, there we go. I'm giving it, listen, if you think I'm putting it on now, or if you think, Myles, that singing is great, this is exactly what you're going to get. So tune in to the lockdown karaoke. But you've had enough of me. It's Thursday, it's Bonfire night. Depending on what time you're watching this is going to be released at 7. So the fireworks might be a little bit loud. So you might have to turn this up a bit and go somewhere where you can listen to it. But hopefully you all enjoy your bonfire night. Hopefully you all have a safe, bonfire night. Hopefully all your neighbours have a safe bonfire night as well. Like I said, I imagine this year more than ever, there's going to be a lot of back garden fireworks, front garden fireworks. Just make sure everyone stays safe. Buy some earmuffs for babies. If you've got a dog, if you've got one of those dogs that barks out after every loud bang and noise, I feel sorry for you. The one good thing about this lockdown actually is West Midlands Safari Park aren't doing their firework display. So you're probably thinking, why is that a good thing, Myles? Because the fucking animals, like, none of those animals are used to those sort of loud noises going on. So you imagine all these animals in the safari park while the fireworks are just going off, probably shitting themselves, terrified. And then you've probably got people listening like, Myles, no, they put the animals to sleep. That is not better. You're not drugging the animals to put them to sleep just so you can let some fucking fireworks off so you can make a bit of money. That you probably don't even spend on the fucking animals anyway. I'm getting so triggered by this. But yeah, there's no fireworks at the safari park. So hopefully those animals are going to have a nice, easy night, or an easier night than what they normally would have. But yeah, stay safe if you are having your own little bonfire, firework, night, display, party, wherever you are. The road to Christmas has fully begun. If you are like me and you're actually almost prepared for Christmas, thumbs up. If you're not, then click and collect. Online shopping time. You better get online shopping and start ordering all that stuff. And yes, again, as we are plunging into another lockdown part 2, don't forget, you are not alone. Like, it's not just you in this lockdown. We are all in this lockdown together. That's the key thing. We are all in this together. If you feel lonely, reach out to someone. If you feel sad, upset, depressed, constricted, restricted, if you're feeling anything at all, reach out to a family member, reach out to a friend, reach out to me. I replied. I had a few people reaching out that were saying, that said it was brave of me or thank me when I spoke about the slight depression that I feel like I was going through, might still be going through, or might just plunge straight back into with this fucking second lockdown coming. So I'll be doing the same. I've got a bunch of friends I'll be talking to. There's a bunch of places you can go to get help if anyone is out there struggling with anything like any mental health issues. Like I said, you're not alone. Please find someone to talk to. It's the best thing you can do. But again, until the next time, guys, I've been Myles. This has been the Myles High Club podcast. And I don't even know if it's picked up on camera, but I'm starting to see my own breath when I talk, which is how cold this garage is. Before I go, if anyone watching this knows about renovating, or knows anyone that knows about renovating, please send them my way. I have what looks like a derelict garage that I can't afford to knock down and rebuild at the minute. So if anyone knows how to renovate a garage and turn this into an insulated living place, please get at me. Like I said, until the next time, I've been Myles. I'm out. Peace.